Enigma is a graduate student project to create a prototype for an immersive tabletop role-playing experience. In this 2-hour experience, a facilitator will guide 4 players through the game. The players will play as women codebreakers who worked at Bletchley Park during the World War II. The facilitator is in charge of controlling the game process and will play as different roles in different situations.
Our goal is to give players an immersive experience as the women codebreakers in World War II period. We want players to feel smart and heroic, using their intelligence to save thousands of people's lives, but we also want them to feel emotional struggles because they cannot talk to anyone about their work, even their families. So besides role-playing, we design puzzles that can capture the feeling of code breaking and feedback to the puzzles that inform the players the impact of their work. There are also personal stories for individual players, which lead to a lot of struggles between their work and life. We also design a lot of digestible materials like telegrams and non-disclosure agreements.
We selected a historical event during the World War II that is impactful and had potential of creating an immersive gameplay and storyline. The event we adopted in our narrative design was structured to create a satisfying experience for our players. The players will roleplay as female codebreakers and discover constructive information by deciphering code-like puzzles in the progression of our story. By improvising as their fictional characters, the players will be acquainted with other members to collaborate as a team and gradually develop fellowship to contribute to the war efforts.
Considering that code breaking was an essential part of the experience, we have set out to create a series of puzzles that are evocative of the physical and the mental process that were involved. Hence, these puzzles will put the players' intelligence and problem-solving skills to the test. These puzzles require the knowledge and the cooperation of the 4 codebreakers, 2 mathematicians, and 2 linguists to solve. To maximize accessibility and replayability, the puzzles are designed so that they can be easily printed on letter-sized papers with any normal printer.
We made the digital apps combine with physical props as part of the theme, as well as creating an immersive, interactable environment for the players. Each of the props will have one cell phone inside with a digital interface on the screen as part of the prop. The facilitator will also have his or her cell phone in hand. Using the app, the facilitator could remotely control other prop apps through the same Wi-Fi connection.
The radio has a wheel to switch between different channels. In certain scenes, it will deliver important messages and the feedbacks to the puzzles. It can also play some music from that period to create the atmosphere. The telephone is an old-fashioned wheel phone. Players can use it to send out the messages they found and receive feedback. With some tricks, the player will have the chance to have a conversation with the historical figures, which can be really exciting. We designed the apps in order to bring some digital input to our game that helps theming and enhancing immersion. But meanwhile, we want to prevent the players from sticking to the phone.
I had a great experience playing Enigma, and that's because I was able on a Sunday afternoon to sit there for about 2.5 hours. There were so many elements that really spoke to me, both the setting, which was just before I was born, back in the 1940s, and the attention to detail that reminded me so much of my early years as a child. My knowledge of Bletchley Park, where the whole game is played, was happenstance. I once did a documentary based there. I certainly knew about the Enigma machine and how it helped, breaking the code helped the Allies in the war. So I had a really involved, immersive experience.